Chapter 1773 Humanoid. Soon, the Krufa troops that landed began to fight. They were indeed strong, and soon cleared all the robots in the surrounding area. Some manipulated fire and could burn the entire street by raising their hands. The worst was also at the vice-captain level. The strongest one was an Epsilon-level alien. Frost vines with thorns grew under his feet, and in the blink of an eye, the ice-blue thorns passed through several streets in front of him. Even the hardest robots were wrapped by a large number of frost vines and then crushed. The intelligence system gave Zhang Yi a prompt. According to data analysis, this alien should be the god of fertility, Yalalo of the Pantheon, with an ability index of 17,000 points. Then, it reminded Zhang Yi, according to the information provided by Fremons before, this alien has died in battle. Zhang Yi's expression instantly became serious. An alien with 17,000 points is definitely a very strong existence in the world. Although it cannot enter the first echelon, it can also be regarded as a third-rate or even close to the standard of a second-rate black chariot. In the case of a non-death duel, if the difference in strength is not big, it is difficult to completely kill an Epsilon-level alien. In other words, the existence that can kill him must be at least black chariot level. After Alec appeared, the situation on the battlefield changed quickly. He was wearing a Klufa combat uniform, and his appearance could not be seen clearly, but he should be a burly man. His men were dealing with ordinary robots, and he directly set his target on a super-large robot in the distance. He used the jet device to directly soar into the air and flew towards the super-large robot that was as tall as a building. In the picture, the light was distorted again. Zhang Yi clearly saw that a huge frost tree rose from the ground. It was extremely beautiful, silver-white, and kept growing, and then grew branches. 6 ice flowers grew on the vines, just like a beautiful and dangerous work of art. A large number of frost thorn vines shot towards the super-large robot. The super-large robot felt the appearance of the enemy, and a gun muzzle somewhere on its body immediately shot out a yellow energy ray, which actually directly shot those vines. Ice flowers were flying all over the sky, but Alec's attack did not stop. He stood on the top of the huge frost tree, controlling the frost tree's continuous attack. The thorny vines condensed by frost will continue to be produced as long as his superpowers are not exhausted. The ice and snow aliens are the most unique group of people with abilities in this era. Countless vines shot at the super-large robot like sharp swords. On the robot's body, the muzzles opened one after another, shooting out lasers to collide with it. Facing the 17,000-point, white chariot-class Epsilon, it was not at all inferior. At this time, a sharp whistle sounded in the sky, and a huge missile dragged a long tail and shot directly at the super-large robot. The intelligence system gave Zhang Yi a prompt that this was one of Fremon's most powerful missiles, the St. Peter III missile. But then, Zhang Yi saw a picture that made him frown. The huge missile avoided the intercepted energy ray with a strange trajectory, and it was about to hit the super-large robot. But at this moment, it seemed to hit something that didn't exist, and its body suddenly stopped moving forward and then exploded in midair. The strong explosion triggered a terrifying shockwave, and the vision in the picture became blurred again. After a long time, the picture was restored. However, the super-large robot that should have been hit by the missile was not damaged at all. Zhang Yi immediately made a judgment. This is a special energy field, similar to the alien superpower shield, or the telekinetic shield of the telekinetic ability user. The source of all forces is the same, that is, the Big Bang at the beginning of the universe. Therefore, this is not difficult to understand. Whether it is the invisible force field of the robot or the superpower shield of various aliens with different attributes, they are essentially the same thing. Zhang Yi's surprise came from the fact that this mechanical civilization had actually developed technology to this extent. Their robots have the combat power that can match or even surpass the aliens. But at this moment, Zhang Yi's sight was suddenly attracted to another corner of the picture. He saw something even more terrifying, which made his amber pupils shrink rapidly. Yaliluo, who was originally standing on the top of the frost tree, was now being held by the neck and lifted in the air. His body had lost all its strength like a dead dog. When Zhang Yi saw clearly what was holding Yililuo's neck, he finally understood why Ling had an expression of not knowing how to describe it when mentioning humanoid creatures. It was an extremely strange existence. It is called humanoid because it has a torso and limbs like humans. But it is definitely not a human, not even a lizard man, because its lower body has 6 spider-like limbs. It is pitch black, a color that seems to absorb even light, so that it is even a little blurry in the picture, and its full appearance cannot be seen clearly. Its body exudes a breathtaking darkness and has a pure metallic luster. The arms, torso, and 6 limbs are all made of metal. But in the middle of the black, it is dotted with pieces after pieces of blood-red crystal-like things. Its head has no facial features and looks like an upside-down black bucket. At first glance, it looks like a snowman made by a child with poor skills. But such a human-like thing actually killed a 17,000-point supernatural index in a very short time. Suddenly, the red crystals on the arms of the strange humanoid creature began to burst out with dazzling light. A powerful energy was released from his palm, directly destroying Yalilo's body. Directly destroyed, and not broken, but turned into ashes. Only a ball of the purest origin was left in his palm, and it was collected in an unknown form. The picture quickly became blurred here, and then only snowflakes were left. Zhang Yi couldn't calm down for a long time. He looked at Ling, who had her hands behind her head, and was flexibly controlling the steering wheel with her 2 feet in white socks. He didn't feel like thinking about anything else but asked, "Where did you take these?"
Ling
glanced at Zhang Yi and said lightly, "Locka City is 700 kilometers away from here. But it's useless for you to go there now. There's nothing there now. Is this video valuable? It cost me the price of a drone. You should know that nowadays a drone that can withstand extreme low temperatures is even worth the price of a fighter jet." Although Ling's words were a bit exaggerated, the price of that kind of drone is indeed not cheap. She said this just to let Zhang Yi understand that the reward Zhang Yi gave was worth the money. Of course, she would not give this video to Zhang Yi alone. Zhang Yi asked, "How long ago was this video taken?" Ling thought for a moment and replied, 5 days ago. Zhang Yi nodded. "Let's go and take a look there." According to the time, the mechanical army will not stay in one place for too long. When they arrive at an area, they will clean up the place with the highest efficiency and then start digging holes.
In
5 days, there is no news that they are still here, so they must have left. No matter how much information you get from all sides, it is not as good as going there to investigate in person. Ling glanced at Zhang Yi and said, "Okay." She drove the snow fox in front to lead the way. The car ran on the vast snowfield and then changed direction. Zhang Yi said, "It's too far, don't waste time." He stretched out his arm forward, and a dimensional door quickly opened in front. After confirming the direction and target, it will take more than a minute to reach the destination. The convoy kept passing through the dimensional gate. Ling was also shocked by this ability. She couldn't help but say to Zhang Yi, "If you also come to do our business, you will definitely have a bright future. Whether it is to gather intelligence or run away, it is too convenient." Zhang Yi just smiled faintly. However, on the road he passed, he also saw several huge sinkholes that had been dug. Those pits were not shocking enough from the picture, but when he came in person, it felt like a passage to the underworld, huge and bottomless. Zhang Yi frowned and muttered in his heart, "What are these guys looking for?" Being able to allow a powerful and advanced civilization to continue to operate on land at the risk of being punished by the rules of the world, it can only mean that the rewards for doing so must be extremely generous. Soon, Zhang Yi and his team arrived at the city. But now there is nothing there as imagined. Around the city, ruins and rocks piled up into huge peaks. This is a ring mountain and there is too much soil dug out around the deep pit. Yang Xinxin took a look at the soil and rocks and immediately operated the computer to calculate. It only takes a calculation of the volume of the soil and rocks to quickly find out the depth of the pit below. Brother, the pit here is 7,500 meters underground. It seems that they didn't find what they were looking for. This depth is far less than the depth of the excavation by Su Rumans. Zhang Yi came over, followed by Deng Shintong and others. Ling held the weapon wrapped in white cloth in her arms and watched the excitement nearby with a look of indifference. Zhang Yi waved behind him, and Bailey Chongqing immediately came over. Captains? Only Bailey Chongqing and Wu Di and others could call Zhang Yi like this, because this is a supreme honor, indicating that they are warriors who followed Zhang Yi in the early days. Zhang Yi said lightly, "Search all the surrounding areas. See if there is any important information, especially mechanical fragments." He has not personally contacted the mechanical army. If he can get their fragments, it will also be convenient for Liu Karen to study. At the very least, we must know what those things are and how powerful their civilization level is. Yes. Bailey Chongqing turned around and immediately called on the members of the Fueying force to search nearby. Fatty Sue's eyes rolled around, and he wanted to run to the side to slack off, but Uncle Yu still grabbed him by the collar. "Let's go, Chunlei. Let's work together. Your Fubuki can help clean up the wasteland here, and I'll take care of the large buildings." Fatty Sue looked distressed, and after failing to slack off, he had to follow him and work honestly. Zhang Yi used his ability to soar into the air and flew directly above the huge cave. This cave has a diameter of 200 kilometers and a depth of 7,500 meters. With the current civilization and technology of the human world, it may take several years to dig out such a cave. Of course, if there is an Epsilon class that can control. It would be much easier for the aliens who control the Earth, such as Zhongyu or Maharaga. But it is absolutely difficult to complete such a large project in just 5 days. Advanced civilization. Zhang Yi murmured in a low voice, then opened the Sinluo Wanxiang to protect his body, and then fell straight into the deep pit. Chaos, wait for me. Deng Shintong turned on the flight propulsion device of the combat suit and followed closely. At the same time, he activated his ability, and dazzling light burst out from him, illuminating the surrounding abyss. The two went all the way down. This was a vertical pit, and the digging angle did not deviate at all. Zhang Yi did not use space shuttle, for fear of missing any details. Soon, he saw the complex structure under the ground, the rock layers of ancient times, and even the dark coal layers. A large amount of coal was buried deep underground. From 3,000 meters below, it was all these resources. However, those mechanical legions did not care about this kind of resources, and there was no sign of digging. Zhang Yi was not in a hurry to collect these resources, because along the way down, he saw many special mineral deposits, all of which were very precious metals. It's not energy nor minerals. What could it be? Zhang Yi's doubts became deeper and deeper, and Deng Shintong, who was following him, was already overwhelmed. So many resources, if we take them back, they will be enough for Blizzard City to consume for several months. At this time, he looked like a poor man who had never seen the world in front of Zhang Yi. Zhang Yi didn't say anything, and went down all the way, and finally reached the cave soon after. At the bottom was an extremely tough rock layer, but it was also flattened by machines, forming a huge platform with a diameter of 200 kilometers. People standing here seem particularly small. If you don't know, you might think someone is going to build a gladiatorial arena here. Deng Shintong then fell down and was shocked to see such a platform. Are they going to build a base here? The foundation has been laid. I guess this is just a job done by machines following instructions. He looked around. The intelligence system of the submarine dragon armor had already captured all the scenes here. They didn't find what they wanted here, and they didn't leave any traces. They did a very clean job.